Yes, and also making sure the international community does not continue to work with Zimbabwe as a normal country, with ZANU-PF as a normal party, and see it as a coup government. That should not be treated with kid gloves like what's happening now. Giving them a red carpet.
But that's
okay. Are we going to be seen as normal?
No, we're not going to. We're not going.
Are we going to be seen as normal?
Hatifani kuita coup, ndozvandikutaura kuti coup haifaniri kuitika muZimbabwe.
Kwani ndimutaura kuti coup inobviswa nemwe coup. Kwani mandizo coup inobviswa nemwe coup.
Zvandikuti anezvekuti coup haifaniri kuitika because inobviswa neimwe coup. Saka kuti tibve musituation yatiri ticharamba tichiita macoups which are not good for the country. That's what I'm saying.
We are in a coup, you know, right now.
Yes.
Because tiri mucoup saka tofana kubva kamucoup machemo nemwe coup.
Ndikutaura inini kuti takatocreata problem ipapo. Ime manga mataura inini kuti what happened to Zimbabwe was okay for Zimbabwe. It was needed. It was necessary. And I was saying that a coup should never have happened in Zimbabwe because you create the need for another coup, which will not help the country at all. You have seen this happen in other countries. Nigeria, for example. It's a shit war, but it's a country that should be, competing equally with countries like South Korea, Japan, and all these other countries. It should be a paradise when you go to Nigeria, but it's a shit war.
Yeah, because
what's the solution now, Nika?
That's right. You see
for years.
Nika is right. You see what is happening. Another coup will come from another faction of ZANU-PF because they know what happened to them. They can still organize. We promoted, yeah, like what Nika said. And ndambotaura izvi ndikambokandwa matemo tichitaura kuti the law of the jungle, nyaya yecivil disobedience is not constitutional. It's a law of the jungle. Because nyika zvaataura izvi ataura kuti the first thing that we should set in our mind as Zimbabweans ndechekuti constitution is not alive. I heard some people say the constitution is alive. But we are asking them, if it is alive, it is saying you are allowed to go on the street. Are you going? No. If the constitution is alive, it is saying hakuna president asingaelectwi nevanhu, anofanirwa kuenda kureferendum. Zviri kuitika here? So those people vari kuti constitution is alive, vari kutotipulira pasi. We need to think kuti no, it's not alive. Then we get solution from there. So it is now coming back that civil disobedience is coming to what I said before, or what possibly Chamisa is thinking about. And now you see the other issue which is happening. Coup is imminent in Zimbabwe as we are standing right away. Because you don't know what is happening. Because even Mugabe himself told them that this way you have used, inoita backfire. Ndosaka uchiona kune internal struggles within ZANU-PF. The center cannot hold because of what they happened and they are failing to do it. Inzwa why kuti president anoenda nachivayo unomira papodium woti ngaadonate $1 million cash, but mubenga hamuna vanhu kushadza kuwana even 100,000 yekuti wawane mari inoita suffice for 1 week or 1 month. Chii ichocho kuti constitution hakuna, is not alive. So all those vari kuti alive dzokai kumaterms, so search, agree kuti it's not alive. One, vari kuti hakuna peaceful demonstration according to the constitution. Number two, vari kuti parliament is not democratically elected. Izvo vari kuti president can be elected by parliament. Is that constitution? And it's alive. So change to quote Monzora and ava dove ikoko kwacho ikoko vanotaura vachiti is not alive because vanoda kuwana kamwe kaweki kupindira, but they don't, havakwani. Chamisa akatotaura ka gomo rinenge radonha. Zvakasiyana nekuti tikati between inini ndiri kutaura panapa naChamisa, anoteerwa ndiChamisa because ane mamillions evanhu. Vamwe vari pana masocial commentators, vanhu vanongokufollowa pamwe family nevamwe vashoma vanenge vachiuya kumashure kwavo. But Chamisa akauya anogona kuti 1 + 1 is 7, otozviita normalization of the abnormal. Ndosaka tichitaura kuti zvaari kutaura izvi nyasei kumuteererai, because vanogona akati civil disobedience yacho kunomita sei. Ane supporters
Civil
but the
disobedience is
civil disobedience
constitutional,
can be
okay?
constitutional.
It's also
It's also
constitutional.
constitutional. You can't, you can't, explicitly say good is a civil disobedience is not constitutional.
And the constitution is alive
How is
because we are all
constitutional
citizens. Kana tisina constitution, we're not
Eh,
citizens.
how is civil disobedience constitutional?
because the guy, it's, if you engage in non-violent,
That's
protest,
protesting, and it.
yes,
The
it's
first and
protesting different,
foremost
yeah.
power of civil
I
disobedience is
think
to
he
What is
hears
protest.
the word
disobedience? You are
disobedience
going
and
against
thinks
the
that
country.
it becomes unlawful. I think it's the word that he doesn't understand. Civil disobedience. When you are protesting, that is a civil disobedient action.
Mm.
So you keep thinking because you've heard the word disobedient somewhere else. Suddenly, it's prescribed in the Constitution to do civil disobedience, to resist.
Mm.
Yeah? So it's constitutional.
Because those rights that you invoke then creates the space where that civil disobedience can become.
Kuramba to be
Mhm.
dominated.
No,
Kuramba to be suppressed.
civil
Kuramba.
disobedience is against the
Civil
constitution.
disobedience is prescribed.
Zvakafanana ndingine stay away kuti mukaita
Just
stay
an
away
English
civil
word
disobedience.
you are confusing.
Yeah,
In our
because I was
languages, we'll just say tajamuka, taramba, tatsamwa, and we are out there to say
saying
no.
disobedience. Ndeyekuti
Yes, that's what civil
hamutondidzira kuti
disobedience is.
kana mukati
Handekuti
hatisina
chi
kugadzira tax.
Aiwa,
It's the English word
aiwa, you
that
are giving out a
constitution
definition
vanhu
a
venyika.
protest is a civil disobedient act.
No,
aiwa
ngatikutaure about civil disobedience. Mutotaura
but
mese kuti hatisina kugadzira tax. But
It's a constitutional right.
yes, that's why I am saying kuti civil disobedience, there is no peaceful protest in it.
There is.
Not
aiwa please
Peaceful protest is civil disobedience. It's you who
aiwa
doesn't understand your terms. You
aiwa
hear the
ngoma
word
iripo
peaceful.
ngoma aiwa
In
ngoma
fact, you
iripo
don't even have to
iripo.
say.
It becomes,
Uncle Jet,
it becomes unconstitutional.
Aiwa.
Mirai,
Uncle
civil
Jet,
disobedience
let's
becomes
stop using
unconstitutional
English.
when it becomes violent, when it becomes life-threatening,
And when it's
we
violent,
destroy,
it's not called a
property, when we
protest.
seek, all those things. That is when it becomes, unconstitutional. You
Uncle
understand?
Jet,
Unless
Aiwa,
in
unless
terms,
Mimi, no, unless you're calling out for the civil disobedience that is violent.
and it's not a protest, it's called a riot.
Yes.
but
Unless that is
So
what you're
the
calling
word
for.
peaceful before a
But if you
protest is
decide,
redundant.
but
A
if you
protest
decide,
by nature is considered to be non-violent.
Mm.
When it becomes violent, it's not a protest,
And I
it's
don't
called
think
a
that is what
riot.
Nelson Chamisa, is calling out for. I don't think he's calling out for that.
Is that what you think he's calling out for?
but the whole idea, of
If you don't
disobedience
change,
No, but the whole
is to
idea.
ignore the
terms
law.
to suit you. They are there for a reason. A
Ah,
riot, that's why when
Aiwa.
you
the
become
What is
idea is
violent,
okay?
kuti,
All right, all right. Where
there's
I would want
nothing
to agree
called
with
a
you.
violent
Okay.
protest.
And so that is on him komanyika what is on the and anenge gondi aiwa ndi gondi as I don't point you. Where I might want to say kuti okay. We don't know. Okay, I think I asked Mkomanyika, Kutizo, can you give me some of the ways that can be done? Kungofunga kwenye mimi kuti, let's say Chamisa is going to be coming. And it muda dzokere ngikuna Chamisa ane zvakataura. Let's say kuti Chamisa is going to come. And then finally, akuita add on to what he said. Kutizo, what do you think is it then going to to call out? Could as citizens, it is civil disobedience. Let's say he calls out for that. What kind of civil disobedience is he calling for? Could this because surely I don't think he's calling for the other one. Because the other one threatens life, the other one is violent, the other one, unless if people are saying good is when he calls out with ngatite civil disobedience, is also to formulate our own civil disobedience kuti chamuka inyama.
muri kutora civil disobedience moita something chiri lawful, no problem. Disobedience means kuti you are ignoring the laws, what the law
No.
says.
No, no,
And the
no,
No, no,
laws,
no,
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 and
no,
no,
no, no,
the
no,
laws,
no,
not necessarily,
no,
not
no,
and the
necessarily.
no,
laws, and the
no.
laws
You're
may not be,
misinformed.
the laws may not be fair laws at all. It
Nah,
may be,
nah.
it may be, for example, something like during the apartheid era. Like my
Mhm.
laws, the apartheid, I prohibit people from going onto the streets,
In Zimbabwe,
associating,
our
and
laws
all this,
accept.
and not going on buses that you're not supposed to go, not going
In
into areas
Zimbabwe, our laws
that you're not supposed to
accept.
go. Bira unzwe masi. You going into areas where you're not supposed to go. Saka civil disobedience meant that people would do these things that were prohibited
Oh
by
God.
the laws of the
Nah.
apartheid era. Now,
Oh
in
God.
Zimbabwe, you will know that there are some laws that have been crafted by ZANU-PF over the years, which impinge on the freedoms of the people. And when people do civil disobedience, they are going against some of these laws, which you know in Zimbabwe. And some of these
Which one?
tactics, and some of these tactics that
Which
will
ones?
ZANU-PF will use to make sure that you are not,
Which laws?
expressing yourself.
Because I'll tell you, the right
Unozviziva
to
iwe masi
protest has been
vanaposa
defended and
vana aipa
constitutionally
vanani,
won.
all these things that were crafted
Which
after,
ones?
soon after.
Which ones?
Zvandiri kuudza
Because
zvevanaposa
every
vana aipa vana
constitutional
chief
challenge that we have done, that has been done in Zimbabwe, to try and prevent Zimbabwean people from access, the government has lost. To
Saka
the
iwewe your
point where
understanding
even
disobedience,
the fact
what is
that
your
you
understanding
think you need
disobedience?
permission
Disobedience
from the
means
police
or
has been fought
disobeying the
and
law
won.
and
No, it
doing
just
that
removes
which the law is
consent.
saying you can't do.
It's just saying we're rejecting consent to be treated this
Yes,
way.
that's all. A
No,
protest is
We're
constitutional.
taking
Civil
away our
disobedience
consent
is
because we
Right.
give the
Okay.
people the
no,
the
you're
only
consent to
thing not
When okay,
permitted is
when you
for
do
you.
all right, when
you
you
are
do
giving people
civil
wrong information
disobedience,
here.
I mean, guys, when you do civil disobedience, what are you looking for?
You are disobeying that which is prohibiting you from expressing yourself.
And what are you not doing?
You are not following the law.